Tomorrow, being Tuesday, 28 February 2023, the Durban High Court, KwaZulu-Natal High Court in South Africa, will hear the pretrial in the murder case against the wife of late Mr. Mark Bottle with the help of her lesbian lover and another woman. Guys, the suspect is the wife of this Mr. Mark Bottle, a 41-year-old Mrs. Lydia Diaz Bella, who, together with her lesbian lover, Alison Brown, and the help of another woman, Charmaine Margaret, who is presumed to be her friend, hatched and executed a plan to kill her husband, Mark Bottle. Guys, I know you may be wondering, why will a woman, a wife, go to such level to eliminate her husband? Why didn't she just divorce him and go live with her lover? What was her motive? What gave her such guts to risk life imprisonment, to risk everything in life just to be able to kill her husband? And then, when did this happen? Be calming down, my people. It is the full story I brought. Just sit back with a snack and a soft drink and give me your attention as I narrate in details how this murder case was solved. This murder case that the pretrial will be had on Tuesday did not actually happen this year. The detail is going to take us back to 2018, when and where it all started. Mrs. Bella Donatus was married to late Mr. Mark Bottle, and they were living happily in their home at Newlands East, which was in the northwest of Durban in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Mr. Bottle was gainfully employed during the course of their marriage. They were living in their own homes, they drive good cars, and he had acquired a life insurance policy, with his wife being the beneficiary. In the year 2017, they started having marital issues. No one could specifically say what the issue was, whether it was because one or both of them were cheating, or because they've come to realize that their differences could no longer be reconciled. But whatever the issue was, it wasn't to the point that she had to move out of their marital home. When Mrs. Dos Santos moved out of her marital home, she moved in with her girlfriend, Alison Brown, and it all seemed very innocent and act. I guess the 25-year-old Miss Brown was hailed at that time as the knight that saved the damsel in distress. Many people did not see anything unusual in their friendship or worry about their age gap. Mrs. Donatus was 41 years old, while Miss Brown was 25 years old. It was later that the dots were connected, and it was discovered that these two women were actually lesbians and were having an affair. As at when Mrs. Donatus discovered she prefers same sex to the opposite sex, no one could tell, but it was claimed that Mrs. Donatus was already having an affair with Miss Brown while she was still married and living with late Mr. Mark Bottle. It was alleged that while these two were living together, they thought and compared the merits and demerits of asking Mr. Bottle for a divorce. Mrs. Donatus came to the realization that if she divorced her husband, she would lose the right to his life insurance policy as his legal wife and his sole beneficiary. My people, money, they say, is the root of all evil. Seeing the huge amounts that would become hers if her husband were to be found dead, this woman decided to use one stone to kill two birds. She went ahead to carefully plan with her lover on how to kill her husband, so that after his death, she will be free to be with her young lover, and together they will enjoy his death benefit. So, with the money in view, these two evil women buried their conscience and began to plot seriously. At a point, they realized that they might not be able to execute this plan perfectly without needing an extra hand. Mrs. Donatus reminded her lover that her husband was a very strong and hefty man. They might find it very difficult overpowering him if they were to do it alone. So, together, they decided a third party is needed. My people, that was how Chairman Margaret Kumalo, a 45 years old woman who was presumed to be one of their friends, was involved. She was contacted and she agreed to join force with them in eliminating late Mr. Mark Bottle. Now guys, I wonder the promises they made to this woman. What did they say they would give to her that will make her sell her conscience too? How much are they going to pay her? Or are they going to give her a percentage of the death benefit? Or was she blackmailed into agreeing to help them perpetrate this evil act? Although blackmail doesn't seem to be the case because none mentioned it when they were being questioned. So what could make a woman to not just selling your conscience but agreeing to do such a thing, agreeing to take such a huge risk, knowing fully well if you are caught, you might end up in prison for the rest of your life? My people, please, what do you think? Is there a reason good enough? Is there a reason that could justify a woman taking the life of her husband, or a woman helping her friend to take the life of her husband? Please, I would love to hear your opinions on this in the comment section. So, their plans were set and they swung into action when Mrs. Donatus contacted her husband in the guise of reconciling with him. Guys, trust a woman when she's out to achieve something. Trust a woman when she's out to seduce her man. Remember, she had been with this man for a long time, so she knows his weaknesses, his soft spots, the moves and words that melt his heart. So she played the repentant wife. She worshipped at his feet and promised him her life. And hoping for a better married life, Mr. Mark Bottle fell for it hook, line and sinker. And so it became that on January 2018, Mrs. Dos Santos moved back in with her husband, and coincidentally her lover Miss Brown moved into a home next door to that of Kumalo, so they can stay close and plot together, act together, and then celebrate their victory together. My people, Mrs. Dos Santos was in such a haste to get rid of her husband. She was in such a haste to be free of him that she had to swing into action sooner than you will expect. She moved back in with him in January of 2018, and on the 25th of February of the same 2018, barely a month later, on the evening of that day, she called her husband to come and meet her at Fendale, a suburb of Johannesburg. Mr. Mark drove to meet with his wife, not knowing he was going to meet with his murderers. And so, when he got there, he did not only see his wife, who was there already armed with a knife, but his two female friends, Miss Brown and Kumalo. On realizing what was about to befall him, he tried to escape or fight back, but these three possessed women bounced on him, stabbing him multiple times in the neck. And few seconds later, he lost the will to fight as he got soaked in the pool of his own blood. Mr. Mark Bottle died while in his parked vehicle in an open area in Fendale. Seeing that her husband was dead, Mrs. Donatus parted ways with the other women and then called the police, reporting that she had been with her husband when they were hijacked. Guys, that was how police got involved in this case, and thank God for trained personnel. They were able to observe that there was something fishy about the death of this man, and so a thorough investigation started. I know you are wondering, just as I am wondering, why is it taking this long for justice to be served? Well, I don't know the answer to that, but I pray, just as there will be a pretrial hearing on Tuesday, that justice for Mr. Mark Bottle will no longer be delayed but speedily served to his murderers. What do you think, guys? Please let me hear your opinions in the comment section. And if you know one or two more things about this case, please drop them in the comment section. We all would love to read them. If you like this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are here and you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Press the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I make a new video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I wish you a wonderful day. Bye bye.